Greetings, YouTube. Lately, I have been working on the concept of worth, and I've talked about this before. And in the process of letting that kind of grow in the background, I've noticed a couple of trends. One of the trends is that I don't have as many fucks to give. In fact, the fuck well's pretty much dried up. I've become really intolerant of the bullshit of the world around me in a way that I would have just kind of accepted in the past. And it's horrible, but it's true. But something else I've noticed is that my hypervigilance is on the decline. Now, for those that don't know, hypervigilance is where you're over-prepared for something bad to happen at any second. And you're in that state of mind constantly. You walk into a room and you look for every exit. You scan the room and you make to see how many objects in this room can I use as a weapon. Yeah, I spent decades of my life living like that. You wonder if everything everyone says is aimed at you. That's the anxiety talking. Are people plotting against you? When the reality is, of course, that 99.9% of people aren't thinking about you in any way. Not because they're cruel or because they're indifferent, because they're dealing with their own problems. But we don't think like that when we're being anxious and hypervigilant. No one else has any problems, only us. They're all just fine. It's us that's the problem. And as the hypervigilance goes down, I find myself in this strange state where it almost feels like I don't care while I simultaneously still care. So I'm in this kind of donut hole where I'm caring about things and people and topics and subjects and things like agendas and things, but it feels like I'm not. And I'm beginning to understand that what I'm experiencing is life without hypervigilance. That this is how healthier people deal with the world all the time. That they can care about stuff, but they're not pegged at 11 when it comes to being anxious about that stuff. That they're not constantly worried that the world around them is out to get them. Because that's not healthy, that's just paranoia. And my paranoia was driven by my anxiety. And as I begin to exercise the concept of worth, that I possess it, I am worthy of it, that lessens. And so I can look at the world in a different light. Literally a different light, a light that is brighter and easier to perceive. The world isn't as dark. I don't need to check for exits every time I enter a room. I don't have to be worried about every person that might be a danger to me. And again, remember, almost all of them aren't thinking about me. Almost all of them aren't thinking about you. And not because they're cruel or indifferent, just because they're dealing with their own plate of stuff. Just like you are. Just like I am. How they handle their own lives can have ramifications, of course. Just as how you handle your life can have ramifications for them. But I'm actively trying not to be cruel. And I'm actively trying to keep in mind mindfulness, that other people are suffering just as much as I am. And everybody suffers in their own way. None of us suffers the same. And just because I can bear a certain burden doesn't mean someone else can. And just because someone else can bear a certain burden doesn't mean I can. I'm currently undergoing a certain level of technical problem, which is why this is being recorded on my Chromebook in my kitchen, with a somewhat makeshift lighting rig, which is why I'm not wearing my glasses at the moment, because there's a light bar to my left, and that's reflecting very badly in my glasses. And that's a very great stress in my life at the moment. I've got no PC. My backup plan failed. My backup to my backup plan failed. The workaround I came up with when my backup to my backup plan failed. So every technical idea I've come up with to solve the problems of trying to maintain a daily vlog site without a computer has been a wash. And then my cat has been driving me nuts. I had to reshoot one of my videos today because my cat actually knocked down the entire rig I have set up here right now, which is why she's currently locked in the bedroom, which is why that door is closed behind me. But I'm handling that better than I would have before, even though, I was so angry when she knocked down my camera rig. You can probably hear her in the background. But I'm handling it better. And part of that is I'm looking at the world in a better light. Part of that is my hypervigilance is less. And that's a good thing. That's a healthy thing. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to what happens when hypervigilance is a memory. When it's been gone long enough that it's something I don't ever have to consider again. At least that's the hope. So let's talk about hypervigilance and anxiety and how we deal with our mental health. Have you ever experienced hypervigilance? And if you have, remember, most people aren't thinking about you. Most people are never going to be a danger to you. Life is not out to get you. We feel that way because of our mental illness. It doesn't make it reality. Reality is that most people are dealing with their own stuff, their own suffering. And the most we can do is be considerate of that. Even if I fail to be considerate as much as I'd like. Even if I still get angry at cats for being cats. But we can be there for each other. And we can make the burden a little less than it was when we started.